The most dangerous habit you have is explaining yourself to people who never intended to understand you. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the world. He ruled an empire of millions. His words could start wars. His decisions shaped history. Yet, he was criticized, mocked, misunderstood. People questioned his strength. They called him weak. They whispered behind his back. And here's what shocks most people: Marcus Aurelius almost never explained himself. No long speeches, no emotional defenses, no desperate attempts to correct the narrative. Why? Because he understood something that most people learn too late. The moment you explain yourself to be accepted, you give away your power. Stoics knew this. They knew that truth doesn't argue, character doesn't beg, and real strength doesn't announce itself. In a world that demands explanations for everything, your choices, your silence, your boundaries, Stoicism offers something radical: freedom. Today you'll discover why Stoics never explain themselves, and how this ancient discipline can give you calm authority and unshakable peace in a noisy, judgment-driven world. Stay with me. This may change how you speak forever. Part 1. The problem. Why we feel the need to explain. Why do we explain ourselves so much? Pause for a second. Take a breath. Say it with me quietly. I don't owe everyone an explanation. Most people explain themselves for one reason: fear. Fear of being judged, fear of being misunderstood, fear of not being liked. Studies in social psychology show that over 70% of people feel anxiety when they believe others hold a negative opinion of them. That anxiety pushes us to talk, to justify, to defend, even when no one asked. Marcus Aurelius saw this clearly almost 2,000 years ago. He wrote, "I do my duty. Nothing else troubles me." Think about that. No mention of reputation. No concern for approval. Only duty. Here's the uncomfortable truth: the moment you seek approval, your peace begins to disappear. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire of over 60 million people. If anyone had a reason to explain himself, it was him. Every decision he made was criticized: wars, taxes, laws, even his personality. Yet he refused to play the game. Why? Because Stoics understood something modern society forgot. Explaining yourself is often an emotional transaction. When you explain, you're saying, "Please understand me. Please accept me. Please agree with me." And the moment you say that, you hand over your emotional control. Reset for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Say it again. My peace is more important than approval. Marcus Aurelius warned himself daily about this trap. In Meditations, he wrote, not for the public, but for his own discipline. No audience, no applause, no validation. Here's a practical exercise for you today. For the next 24 hours, notice every time you feel the urge to explain yourself. Ask one question: am I explaining to inform or to be accepted? If the answer is acceptance, pause. Stay silent. Because in the next part, you'll discover why silence is not weakness, but one of the most powerful Stoic weapons ever practiced. Stay with me. Part 2, Stoic Principle, the hidden power of silence. Silence makes people uncomfortable because silence cannot be controlled. It cannot be interrupted. It cannot be twisted once it is chosen. This is why Stoics never explained themselves. They understood a principle that feels uncomfortable, even shocking to the modern mind. Truth does not need defense. Pause here for a second. Take a slow breath in. And as you breathe out, say this quietly: I don't need to correct every misunderstanding. Marcus Aurelius lived in a world where silence was dangerous. In ancient Rome, rumors killed emperors. False accusations ended dynasties. More than 40% of Roman emperors were assassinated, often after public criticism spread unchecked. If anyone had a reason to explain himself, to defend his image, to control the narrative, it was Marcus Aurelius. Yet he trained himself to do the opposite. Instead of reacting, he asked one question over and over again, almost like a mental filter: is this within my control? If the answer was no, he released it. Not with anger, not with resentment, but with discipline. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been." This is not denial. This is mastery. Reset with me. Breathe in. Breathe out. Say it slowly. What others think of me is not my responsibility. Stoicism teaches that silence is not weakness. Silence is selective engagement. Most people talk too much because they are trying to control outcomes that were never theirs to control. When someone misunderstands you, your instinct is to rush in and fix it. But Stoics ask something deeper. Does this misunderstanding change who I am? If the answer is no, silence is power. Modern psychology supports this. Studies on emotional regulation show that people who pause before responding experience up to 35% lower stress levels and significantly improve decision-making. Silence creates space. Space creates clarity. Clarity creates strength. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal from generals, senators, even friends he trusted. Yet there is no record of him publicly defending his character. Why? Because Stoics know this rule. The moment you explain yourself emotionally, you surrender authority. Explaining can be useful when teaching. Explaining can be necessary when clarifying facts. But explaining to be accepted, explaining to be liked, explaining to calm your anxiety, that is emotional dependency. Reset again. Say it with me. I choose dignity over defense. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, do not waste time on what you cannot change. Silence is not avoidance. It is discernment. Here is a practical Stoic exercise you can apply today, the 10-second rule. When criticized, misunderstood, or attacked verbally, wait 10 seconds before responding. In those 10 seconds, ask yourself, is this true? Is this useful? Is this within my control? If the answer to any of these is no, remain silent. Another exercise. For the next week, remove unnecessary explanations from your life. No over-justifying your choices. No defending your boundaries. No explaining your values to people who already decided not to respect them. Notice what happens. At first, silence will feel uncomfortable. Then it will feel powerful. Eventually, it will feel natural. Marcus Aurelius understood something timeless. People reveal themselves when you stop reacting. Those who seek control will grow louder. Those who respect strength will lean closer. And those who never intended to understand you will leave. And that is not loss. That is clarity. In the next part, you'll hear a real moment from Marcus Aurelius' life, a public accusation, a silent response, and a lesson history never forgot. Stay with me. Part 3 story, Marcus Aurelius in action. The room was silent, not the comfortable kind of silence, the dangerous kind. Marble columns surrounded the Roman court. Senators stood still. Generals watched closely. One accusation in this room could change history. A Roman general stepped forward and spoke words that no emperor wanted to hear. He accused Marcus Aurelius of weakness. Weakness in leadership. Weakness in war. Weakness in character. In ancient Rome, this was not just an insult. It was a threat. History shows that emperors who appeared weak rarely survived. More than half of Roman rulers before Marcus Aurelius were removed violently. Everyone expected a response, a defense, an explanation, an emotional reaction. Reset with me for a moment. Breathe in, breathe out. Say it slowly. Watch what happens when I don't react. Marcus Aurelius did not raise his voice. He did not list his victories. He did not explain his intentions. He paused. That pause was power. Then he spoke only one sentence. Time will reveal what I am. And he walked away. No argument, no justification, no attempt to control how others perceived him. The room was stunned. To the Roman mind, silence looked like surrender. But to a Stoic, silence was strategy. Marcus Aurelius understood something few leaders ever learn. You don't defeat false narratives by fighting them. You outlast them. History proved him right. Marcus Aurelius ruled for 19 years longer than most emperors of his era. His reign is remembered not for fear, but for wisdom, restraint, and stability. His writings are still studied nearly 2,000 years later. The general who accused him, forgotten. Reset again. Say it with me. Character speaks longer than words. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. This moment was not about pride. It was about discipline. Most people panic when attacked. They rush to explain. They over-justify. They expose their insecurity. Marcus did the opposite. He trusted time. He trusted consistency. He trusted character. Modern psychology confirms this principle. Studies on leadership perception show that leaders who respond calmly under accusation are rated as more competent and trustworthy than those who aggressively defend themselves. Silence, when backed by integrity, amplifies authority. Here's a practical Stoic exercise for you. The next time someone challenges your character, do nothing. Let your actions over the next 30 days answer for you. Consistency is slow, but it is undefeated. Reset one last time in this section. Breathe. Say it quietly. I don't need to win every moment. Marcus Aurelius knew that reputation rises and falls, but values endure. This is why Stoics never explain themselves, because explanations fade, but evidence remains. And in the next part, you'll learn how to apply this Stoic power in modern life, in relationships at work, on social media, and in moments where silence feels impossible. Stay with me. The most practical part is next. Part 4. Practical lessons, how to apply this today. Now let's bring Stoicism out of history and into your real life, because silence is not philosophy unless it works on a Monday morning. Lesson 1. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't listen. Think about how many times you've explained your intentions to someone who already decided not to understand you. At work, in relationships, on social media. Reset for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Say it with me. Not everyone deserves access to my reasoning. Marcus Aurelius warned himself about this trap. He wrote, I can keep from being harmed if I don't choose to be. When someone refuses to listen, every explanation becomes wasted energy. And energy to a Stoic is precious. Here's a practical rule. If you've explained something once clearly and the person still resists, stop. Silence is no longer avoidance. It's efficiency. Lesson 2. Let actions speak consistently. Stoics don't argue narratives. They build evidence. Marcus Aurelius didn't respond to criticism with speeches. He responded with years of disciplined behavior. Consistency is powerful because it's boring, and boring things are hard to fake. Research on trust shows that people judge credibility not by words, but by repeated behavior over time. One study found consistency increases perceived trustworthiness by over 60%. Reset again. Say it slowly. I let my behavior do the talking. Ask yourself, are my daily actions aligned with my values, or am I trying to explain what I haven't yet lived? Lesson 3. Accept being misunderstood. This one is hard. Your ego wants clarity. Your pride wants correction. But Stoicism wants freedom. Even Marcus Aurelius was misunderstood, called weak, called soft, called too philosophical for an emperor. Yet he wrote, if they are wrong, teach them gently. If they are not willing, let it go. Misunderstanding is not failure. It's a cost of independence. Try this exercise. The next time you feel misunderstood, don't fix it immediately. Sit with the discomfort for 5 minutes. Notice how your mind wants relief, then let it pass. That discomfort is where growth happens. Lesson 4. Guard your inner peace like a fortress. Stoics believed peace was not found, it was defended. Every unnecessary explanation is a crack in the wall. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Modern life attacks this constantly. Notifications, opinions, criticism, comparison. Here's a Stoic daily practice. 1 hour a day with no explanations, no justifying your schedule, no defending your boundaries, no responding to every message. Notice how calm returns. Reset once more. Breathe. Say it with me. My calm is more valuable than being right. Let's make this concrete with a 7-day Stoic Silence Challenge Day. 1-2, eliminate over-explaining at work. Day 3-4, practice silence in disagreements. Day 5, observe your urge to defend, don't act on it. Day 6, replace explanations with action. Day 7, reflect. Notice your energy. By the end of the week, you'll feel something powerful. Self-respect. Because when you stop begging to be understood, you start standing. And in the final part, we'll go deeper than practice. We'll talk about freedom, the kind Marcus Aurelius lived for. Stay with me. The ending matters. Part 5, Stoic Reflection, Deep Emotional Close. Marcus Aurelius never tried to be understood by the world. That may sound strange today in an age where everyone explains, clarifies, defends, and broadcasts every thought. But Marcus Aurelius wrote for only one audience, himself. He wrote meditations at night, often during war, surrounded by uncertainty, illness, betrayal, and death. There was no publisher, no applause, no intention for the world to read it. Reset for a moment. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out. Say it quietly, I don't need to perform for the world. Marcus Aurelius understood something deeply liberating. The more you explain yourself, the more you tie your identity to the opinions of others. And Stoics refuse to live chained. He wrote, I seek not to be understood, but to understand. Think about how much energy you spend trying to manage perception, explaining your choices, justifying your boundaries, defending your silence, correcting misunderstandings that don't actually matter. That energy adds up. Studies estimate that the average person spends up to 30% of their mental energy worrying about how they are perceived. That is energy stolen from living. Marcus Aurelius chose a different path. He didn't need applause. He didn't need validation. He didn't need to win arguments. He needed alignment. Alignment between his actions and his values. Because when you are aligned, explanations become unnecessary. Reset again. Say it with me, I measure myself by my values, not by approval. Stoic freedom is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't demand recognition. It feels like calm, like groundedness, like not rushing to defend your existence. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. This is the final lesson. People will misunderstand you. They will project onto you. They will judge you with incomplete information. You cannot control that. But you can control this, whether you let their misunderstanding disturb your inner order. Here is a final Stoic reflection exercise for you. Tonight, write down 3 things. A situation where you over-explained yourself. What you were actually afraid of losing. What would have happened if you had stayed silent? Most of the time, you'll realize something shocking. Nothing bad would have happened. Silence would have protected you. Marcus Aurelius didn't explain himself because he trusted something greater than opinion. He trusted time. He trusted character. He trusted that truth reveals itself slowly, quietly, inevitably. And now this wisdom is yours. Reset one last time. Breathe. Say it clearly, I choose peace over proving. If this message resonated with you, like this video not for me but to remind yourself. Subscribe to Making Life Better if you seek calm in a noisy world. Share this with someone who explains themselves too much. And comment one word below the word silence as a promise to yourself to stop explaining and start living. Remember, you don't need to be understood. You need to be at peace.